Hey everyone, Corey here. Recording the new moon for August the 4th, 2024. So this moon is in Leo. It kind of feels like the type of new moon that is um, kind of balancing itself a little bit. So I don't know if that's in its degrees or where it's sitting, but it feels like it's coming a little bit into a balance. It does have I believe it's a super moon also coming in with this one as well, but it is in Leo, so we have a lot of fire energy in there, and this new moon really truly brings up the to really truly find our best qualities, our best traits. What is it about what is it about ourselves that others may like? What is it about others what is it that others see in us that we don't see in ourselves? How many times do somebody try to give you a compliment and you don't accept that compliment? You can't take that compliment. You tend to push those compliments away. Well, this energy is speaking about those things in our lives. It's like if you could see what others can see. And so if you can start to really truly look in at yourself and to see those best qualities so that when times arise, when others start to, when people who are not so liking you steps in or in the way, or people say things about you, you're not so easily swayed. You don't fall out of balance. You don't lose your sense of self. You don't believe those things anymore. You start to say, you know what? I know that's really not true. I know what is true about me, and I know what's not true about me. So it's a good opportunity to really truly set our intentions to discover our best traits and our best qualities and to find our best version of ourselves. Because as we move forward, we do have a lot of kind of bouncing around energy that can be ping-ponging back and forth between positive and negative, and some ups and downs as well coming in. So it can really have you questioning yourself, and if we start to really truly get clear on who that self is, we're less likely to be lost in everything else that is coming up. So now also with this new moon energy on a bigger scale is I feel like this really does bring a time of exposing corruption. So any corrupted programming we may have within ourselves, any corrupted programming that is not of truth, it feels like it really exposes that. So if you were told throughout life, that you are, oh, you're such a troublemaker, you're such a problem, is that you'll see the corruption in that, and you see how sometimes it was you trying to speak up or you trying to point something out, and the way to get you to stop talking or to stop speaking about it was to attack your character. And so having your character attacked is often a way for you to, it's often, especially earlier in life, is often the way that we begin to hide the aspects of ourselves, or we believe that and we try to be somebody we're not anymore. And so this moon is really bringing in the awareness of exposing corruption. So now that's happening within us. It's also happening on a bigger scale, which means it's exposing the things that are corrupted within systems, corrupted within programs, corrupted in, so it could be software, it could be any of the computer systems. You're going to really see like some real static with it as well. And so it can bring in this staticky, glitchy kind of energy. And this glitchy kind of energy is how we start to find these little viruses, these little corrupted little energies that are out there, that are existing. So the viruses of our own mind that is there, the things that affect our self-esteem, our confidence, our sense of self, that throw us off balance, the things that affect society, that affect organizations, that affect groups, that affects everything out there, that is about us being able to be balanced and be in harmony with each other. And so this Leo the lion is kind of giving us the strength and the courage to not to be afraid to see these things, to not to want to ignore them anymore, but to want to dive deep into it, to want to do the work, to want to discover what this is and why is this here. And so today is actually the day that I'm also doing the activation of the Lion's Gate. And the Lion's Gate is coming on, it's the 8/8, but we're in the energy right now. As of, I think, around the 28th of July, we're in that energy until the 15th, somewhere around the 12th to 15th of July. So you're already in the energy. So I'm teaching a class this evening that is on the Lion's Gate, on the 8/8. It's an activation, it's a healing circle. So if you're watching this on this day and on the 4th, and it's on the 4th in the evening, Mountain Standard Time. No, sorry, it's not in the evening, it's in the morning. So this video you'll be seeing, if you're seeing it early in the morning, because it's being released early in the morning. So if you're seeing it early in the morning, it's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. that I'm teaching this class. And if you can't make it to the live, then it will be recorded and you can do it at another time. So it is in the morning. Sorry about the time mixed up, but it was just getting confusing here, trying to channel and trying to speak about other things that are happening. And so, yeah, and so back to this sense of movement, or the moving beyond the corruption story. And this is happening. So then we also have, there's a lot that's happening in and around the few days around this moon, because this moon also brings us in a lot of abundance, and so if it brings in a lot of abundance, it can be abundance of different things. So, it's all up to us on what kind of abundance it brings into our lives. And what I mean by that is whether it's going to be positive, whether it's going to be negative. And so because we are in that Lion's Gate energy, we're moving into a time that can be make us very lucky in love. It can make us very lucky in finances, and it can bring about that sense of things finally coming full circle and working out, things that have been on hold, things that have been in stalemate energy, or things that have had little corrupted pieces in them being removed, so that we can fix things, so that we can repair things, such as relationships, such as maybe a project you're working on. It could be your relationships with people, whatever that may be, but it's all coming up. And this moon is being very much surrounded in, I feel like it really looks like to me like this ring, like I almost see like it's like I'm watching the spin around this new moon. I'm seeing something like spinning around. And so this feels like the divine connection, but also I wouldn't be surprised, or if there is, and I don't know, I haven't looked this up, but if there's some like solar flare energy or something like that that's also happening at this time, because there's this real charged up energy that I'm picking up, and it just keeps zoom, zing, zing, zing. That's what I even got the sound effects for it, because I can hear it almost buzzing, but it feels like it's really charging something up. It's really charging us up. It's getting us prepared, getting us going, getting us to be confident, getting us to like believe in ourselves, getting us to see the good in us. And I'm like, it just feels like we've got the biggest cheerleader energy that's kind of cheering us on to not to quit, not to give up, keep going, keep doing, remove the corrupted pieces. Don't let that old programming into our minds and into our hearts. Keep doing, keep going, keep doing, keep going. And so it is really, truly a really charged up energy. It does really speak about kind of being there for all sides of you. So I always say the Leo's like the middle child, and you have the oldest would be the Aries and the youngest would be the Sagittarius. If you can compare it that way, and being the middle child, it just feels like sometimes it can feel like a little bit of the forgotten, but also but because of that, it makes sure it stands up and out. It's always making sure it gets what it needs, it gets its attention, but also very much that it's in this, it's listening to this and it's listening to that, and it's seeing this and it's seeing that. So it really truly has it has like this wide open view. So it's where there's all the blinders come off, all of those rose colored glasses, all of those shady views of things. Feels like it all starts coming off, and it gives like a crystal clear view of reality. And that crystal clear view of reality really truly just reveals to us reality. What is my reality? And being able to really get to see what is real, what we don't turn a blind eye to, can be some of the most loving things that we can be exposed to for our own highest good. It doesn't mean it feels good in the moment, but it means that it brings us into not allowing things that take away from our light, to take away from the love that we have. That doesn't take away from us living our best life anymore. And we are so programmed to be able to allow the continuation of things that cause us the struggles, the hurts, the pains the most, to stick with it, to stay with it, to not to give up, to stay in something that's not working. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is give up on the things that are not working, so you can put your focus into what will work, what is working. And that's one of the things that's really been given to us over the years, is if you're in this, then that you have to stay with it. You have to stick it through. If you're doing something you hate, you have to stay with it. If you decided you're going to go to university for, 6 years, 5 years, and you got this degree, and now you've got to stay with it until you retire, because your retirement package is there. It's looking at you, but yet you're sick, you're miserable, you're unhappy. Do you really have to stay? Or is there another way? Is there another path? Is there another direction? Well, of course there can be. And doesn't mean we foolishly can, just sometimes have the ability to just walk away from it, but we start to make a plan. We start to set the intention that if I was being my true self, is this what I would be doing? What would I be doing if I was my true self? What would I be doing if I was really me? If I was really living my life? If I was really truly in my happiest of self, what would I be doing? How would I be living? What would that look like? And because of that, we can start to then say, okay, what part of my life needs to change to bring me closer to that? And then how do I make that change? And set the intention that the most loving thing we can do is to clear yourself of the things that corrupts you from believing that you're not here to live happiness, that you're not here to live your best life, that you're here to stay in stagnant energy, that you're here to stay in places where you don't fit and you don't belong just because. No, we're not here to do all of those things. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. And this moon brings about that for us. It brings us through these changes. It brings us through this energy. And like I said, there's like a divine energy. It's just like zinging around. And so I can hear this zipping energy of being surrounded. We're so surrounded in so much of this beautiful, powerful energy that is trying to expand us and break us open, to come into this sense of awakening within ourselves, to see the best for ourselves, to live our best lives, that it's kind of pulling in these directions. But we want to sometimes go back in, because getting to our best lives means sometimes we have to leave behind some of the things that are not for our highest good, that is not serving our lives the way that it needs to, that is not working, that that we exist in more struggles and misery, and we're not existing in what is really truly out there for us to be our happiest of lives. And we always have this free will, and nobody gets to override our free will. So those free will choices are things that we're choosing to do, and choosing to allow, and choosing to believe, and choosing to get caught up in. And what I keep getting, and what keeps being given to me by God, is that simple fact of, if we all knew the love that we have, that they have for us, if we all knew that love, we wouldn't be so busy trying to create a life for something outside of ourselves, but for something inside of ourselves, for something that brings us into the remembering that we came for this human experience, and that our human experience is the most important, and that our essence of our own spirit is a part of this beautiful experience. It's here to dance with us. It's here to embrace the journey with us. It's not so that we can live separated and disassociated and disconnected from ourselves or from others, that we have got so many things that are outside of us that are here to kind of fade away, so that we can become the best of ourselves. And so with that is the sense of really stepping into our own inner healer, really embodying the sense of awakening that the inner healer, awakening your own inner guru, really truly listening to all of those beautiful tools you have gained over the years, all of those beautiful lessons that you have gotten that now are wisdom, because all of the past is all lessons that is transmuted back to you as wisdom. And because you have known it before, because you've experienced it, once you know, you know. And then everything we keep repeating is always a choice. Why do we choose? It is like making no choice. Making no choice and sitting on the fence is a choice. It's a choice not to choose. You're still making a choice. And so everything that we do that we know is not good for us, that we continue to do, is also the choices. And that plays out huge. It played out huge in the end of July. It plays out huge to this month, and the continuation of this throughout the month. And so really truly finding our best qualities, being the best, stepping into that best version of ourselves, knowing who we are, so that when our character becomes in question, or we question when we allow old thoughts in, is that we can step back and tell that little thought in the head, that's not true. That's not true. Or we can just tell ourselves, I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And I don't accept that. So what are we accepting? What are we not accepting? What are we allowing? All those things are playing out for us with this new moon energy. So your intention, a really good intention to really set is that I'm going to start to really find the best qualities of me, and I'm going to stop picking myself apart, picking apart my flaws, and asking myself, why is somebody feeling this way? Or why is somebody doing this to me? Why am I allowing this is the best way to look at it. Or I know I'm not responsible for them. I know I'm not responsible for their words, for their actions. I know they're not where they need to be. And they have to find the best version of themselves, whatever that may be, whatever that narrative is. I hear it chattering over here, almost like I have this argumentative energy over here going, well, what about in this situation? What about in this case? All those situations all fall under the same tools, and we can use so many of the same tools in different situations, so that we can always keep getting a different result than the thing that we keep repeating and keep going around in a cycle, so that we can break the cycles, so that we can break the old habits. And so we can break the habit of being the old self and allow ourselves to really truly begin to step into a relationship to finding that newest version of ourselves that we need for whatever is to come in the coming months. I send you so much love. Thank you for being here with me. And my screen is very staticky, very yellow this evening, but it is what it is. Thank you so much. Much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful new moon.